I've got 3 videos here that I think are really going to help you get to know Bob Monroe and what his gateway process offers. He certainly helped my sanity when I had an experience with 2 past lives 25 years ago, and when I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, and with Bob's help, I wrote about it on my website, Running Naked in a State of Grace. Enjoy.
What is an out-of-body experience?
Well, an out-of-body experience is a state of being, a state of awareness, a state of action, separate and apart from the physical body. About 25% of the population throughout the world, I guess, has this spontaneously take place that they're aware of at least once in their lifetime.
No, what happens?
What happens? Well, what happens is that you as an individual suddenly find yourself, for one reason or another, apart from your physical body, and yet you can think, you can be, you can act, but your physical body is in some other location. It may be only 2 inches away or 2,000 miles away.
Now, we've heard about people who have supposedly died and then have come back to life. That is also an out-of-body experience?
That is indeed an out-of-body. It's a rather extreme way.
You believe in that, then?
Oh, yes.
So in other words, if someone's in an awful automobile accident, and the next thing they know, they're kind of floating above it, watching...
That's what we mean by a spontaneous one, as it were. And it is very, very common. And also, a very important thing is that everyone does this. The fact that you do not remember it does not infer that it does not happen. For example, during what we call delta sleep at night, which everyone goes through, is quite probably, according to our researches, the time when everyone goes into this out-of-body state. You don't remember it, but it does take place.
Now, is that like a dream?
No, it's something apart from a dream. There's no philosophic connotation in our approach to it, but it is somewhat a process of the recharging mechanism that you get during sleep.
When you first had yours, were you frightened?
I was totally frightened. Panic-stricken is a better word for it. And I went through, as a result, all the processes of medical examinations, psychiatric examinations, trying to determine why this was happening.
Robert, describe for us your first body. Can you remember it?
Oh, I can remember.
You still look frightened.
Oh, hang on. Very simple. I had been encountering a phenomenon that was like a vibration in the body, and I had gone to my doctor about it, and he had said, oh, that's just nerves and so on, and I would have to wait till this faded out, and it's not a physical vibration, incidentally. And one night I was lying in bed waiting for this vibration to cool down or fade away, as it were, so that I could simply roll over and go to sleep, because I didn't feel I should go to sleep, or couldn't, as a result of this taking place. On that particular night I was waiting, because it was a Friday night and Saturday was going to be a beautiful, bright, cold front day, meaning a good day for gliding. So I was lying in bed thinking what a nice time I was going to have that Saturday. And on that particular time, I suddenly felt something bumping against my shoulder. And I looked, and here was this, what looked to be the floor bumping against my shoulder. And I thought, that's strange. I don't remember going to sleep. And I looked across, and I said, there's no rug on the floor. I looked more closely, and there was something sticking up out of the floor that shouldn't be there. And trying to perceive what this was, I got a real close look, and it was the chandelier. And in desperation, I realized that I was not bumping against the floor, I was bumping against the ceiling. And I flopped around in the air and looked down, and there below me was the bed, and here was my wife in bed, and here was a man in bed with my wife.
Oh.
And my first response is, well, this is an odd kind of Freudian-type dream. And I thought, well, I better get a good look at this man who was in bed with my wife. And I moved over a little bit closer, and with a great shock, I discovered that the man in bed with my wife was me. And then I went through this great emotional surge that I'm dying, death is here, I don't want to die, let me get back in there. And so I swam down to the body, popped in, and how, I don't know. And then I sat up in bed and looked around. Everything was quiet. My wife was lying there in bed, and I looked up, and there was a chandelier. And needless to say, I did not sleep the rest of that night. The next day, I hurried myself down to my favorite doctor, and he knew I was worried, but he couldn't find anything wrong with me. And that began the search. I fearfully tried to avoid letting this take place again, and
I have gone to sleep many times and not remembered going to sleep. I've had what I guess we know as dreams or even nightmares, and I guess they're probably different. So how do you know it wasn't that, or it isn't that when you go in and have an out-of-body?
it took me almost a year of very cautious exploration to determine that it was not a dream.
How do you explore it?
Well, first, you go just a little bit, and you look around, then you duck back in. Then you go a little further, as I did in the initial stages.
So in other words, you have complete control of out-of-body?
When you go through this in a careful process, you do, yes.
I would be afraid of getting lost. Now, I know that sounds silly, but what if you went out and went around the block or something, got lost, couldn't get back?
I did that a number of times.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, see, it's not so silly. You could get lost.
Oh, you do. It's amazing, for example, unless you have been in a helicopter, for example, over San Francisco at night, let's say you find yourself, if you're only 100 feet over a whole bunch of rooftops, try and find yourself and see where you are.
Any questions from the audience about this?
Yeah.
Jill.
When did this start? How old were you? I mean, was it like you were a kid?
No, it did not start when I was about 40 years old.
Really?
And is it still happening to today? I mean, do you...
Yes, in a different form.
But you control it completely today, is that right?
Oh, you mean... Wait, you know when you're going to come out, you say, okay, tonight I'm going to go for around the block? Or...
Yeah, well, I've gotten tired of going around the block.
Can you go far?
Far? The farthest is about, well, I've gone around the world once just for the fun of it. This time-space gets very boring after a while.
So you don't only go around the world, but you actually go out of the world.
Yes. How many times can you go from Virginia to San Francisco, which has been one of my common runs, before it gets boring?
You like that, right?
No, I just have a lot of friends here.
Now, can this help people if they learn this out-of-body experience? Can it help them when they die, or they think they're going to die, or their time's up in this life?
There's a major discovery that comes with the result of such activity or practice. Without any equivocation, without any going past hope, belief, faith, you know that you do survive death. This changes your overview, your perspective. You have that knowledge, and it's not a religious thing. It's not a philosophical thing. It's a very, very pragmatic thing that you do survive physical death.
And you also, as it says in your book, can take terminal patients and relieve them of their pain by getting them to work
This is what
out
we
of
do.
body.
We let them establish a beachhead where they're going so that they're totally familiar with where they're going, and then their fears evaporate completely, and they make nice, neat plans with some friends of theirs there to have a welcoming party, as it were.
So you're not afraid of dying at all, are you?
Well, yes, I don't particularly want to. I have too much to do here, but I'm not afraid of it. I would think I would get rather irritated that if I had to die now, I'd be irritated.
Is it
now.
possible, since you've had these out-of-body experiences, you know how you're going to die? Have you seen yourself die yet?
Yes and no. I should give you one illustration that is important to me. I've passed the 20-year mark in this exploration, and I think that I have done this for two reasons. One, to prove that you can do this and still stay physically alive. And the second is that you can do this and still stay reasonably sane. Here was and I looked at it, and different people look at it in different ways, but I looked at it as a huge, huge carpet of flowers is the best way I can put it. But each flower was a life experience, a life personality. And I looked at these thousands of flowers. I said, come on, wait a minute. I've been all of these? And over here is a laugh, chuckle. I said, sure, kid, sure, what'd you expect, you know? And here's this mass of different textured, radiating, vibrant things, and this this pattern of, it's how to describe it. It's indescribable, except it's like a huge family feel, like brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles. It has that kind of feel, only much closer. And there's this total intercommunication with all these in the sense that they know you, and as you begin to work and go touch one of the flowers, which you soon find out is a face, hi boy, and the joy that you have finally recognized this. And that was reflected in, I look and I say, so this is what it's all about. This is what I am. All of these life personalities, all of these lifetime experiences. And I then said, and that's what it is. And I finally have made that understanding, that brilliant thing. And these voiceovers says, well, it took you long enough. And then I found out much more about what I now call the I there of me, and take the hyphen out, and it becomes the it of me. And the it of which I am, and it is I, is indeed composed of literally, and nobody really bothers to count it in my it cluster, how many lives we have lived. But it's somewhere above 2,000, and that I figure is enough. And nobody bothers. Just go find out for yourself. And I don't want to go over there and count all these different things. Nobody does, so we don't know. But as the need arises, and there's sort of an executive committee, as it were, how these are selected, I have no idea. I am whatever, that selects a number of life personalities to form a new one, and to send down for or insert into an earth life sojourn. And mine was selected for a very specific, from specific life experiences, to live in the century of the fire wagons. In other words, the 20th century, when we were using explosions to do things with instead of the other means of doing things, to live that 20th century. And I got to know them. I suspected something like this, but didn't understand it. And these are the clusters that are sent in my case, and this is the thing. You all go find this out for yourself. Never mind. I don't buy it. I'm just Pied Piper is all. But this cluster, I've recognized symptoms of this when I got to know it. It says, oh yes, and now I got to know them very well. But there are around 5 that are dominant, but they've melded together to become what I am. And I use them I have used them unconsciously or automatically as I have lived through this life. And I like to use another way of putting it, but they are different kinds. And I now suspect, we flicker from those one to another as needed in our life, or as we get to them. And I have fun show you ways to do this, and I'll get up and do this because this is a interesting way to show this that I have gotten out of my old theatrical base. For example, if one wanted to be in the rather heavy, serious state, you would get in here like this, you see, and you'd be like this, and that's one personality. Or as you moved over here, and you are soft and ethereal, don't you see? And it makes another look at you. And we are all doing this automatically. Or if we went over here, and you're a heart, you can do this. Or if you are a ghost-like figure, you're this. Hi. These are the parts of us that are existent and are there consistently. So this was so tremendously exciting because I then had begun to know that basic of what I am. And excitedly, I went through this whole pattern of learning the process of all these, what I am. I found out, for example, many of the things, and I won't go through them tonight, of what I am, but because it's much more fun for you to find out your sources and analyze what you are. Why bore you with mine? But the fascinating part is that this is available to you. All this mass of historical experience, you now are in the position popping into 21 and go to 21 and turn left, and there it is. And that is not only your own life experience, but all of this mass of, present life experience, but all this mass of others. I assure you, there's nothing that you can think or be or feel or be emotional about that you haven't experienced at least 50 to 100 times before. And you go through the catalog and say, well, fine, I've lost my love, my lover. And you go down through here and you'll find all these ones, well, I did this here, oh, this is pretty good, I'll use that. You see, it's like a catalog of yourself. And it's your own personal catalog. And that's the beauty. Anything that you can think of that you encounter in this life, you will find a good reference file that is yours and privately yours that you can call upon. And there are some in there that you don't want to do. It's just countercultural, like, I'll kill old bastard, I'll kill him, you see. And you did, you see, there's the point. You did. So this is the new thing that I now lure 21ers in Gateway to play with. Because once you know that, then all the rest, because then your vehicle, as it were, that is you, are able to control so much more easily, so much more powerfully. And you will see so deeply. For example, I used to learn more even now, but my earliest life experience was, at least that I can find, and it isn't, there may be another one, is 150,000 years ago, if I can measure it by our time. See, our recorded history is a little small segment, and that's the thing you become so fascinated with. How could human history be that small when there's so much of it? And it's all there. You can go play in it. And I can tell you that it's probably the most important fun you can have in your life, because it's also so very useful. And the it of you, the I there, the totality of it. And the other thing, oh yes, there's so many facets to this. One of the things that you must then become aware of, and you go find out for yourself again. But in my own case, I was astounded to discover that in this I there of me, when I got into trouble, and have through my lifetime, a helper has been sent. And it's one of the earlier personalities who's capable to do certain things, is, quote, sent, and that's a relative term, to help me. And I must tell you that how that's done is, they don't wait, you think, well, you're going down for the third time. They wait to the 10th time, and then they come. Be sure you get the experience, is the whole point. Don't make it a real experience.
This is the first step along your path to a gateway beyond which is discovery, your own discovery of reality, of truth, of who and what you are. Now a simple preparation. Because of the special audio techniques used, it's important that certain sounds reach your right ear and others your left ear. To be sure of this, you should be hearing my voice in your right ear at this moment. If you are not hearing my voice in your right ear, turn your headphones around now so that you are hearing my voice in your right ear. Now, as you listen to the sound of ocean surf, move your body into a more relaxed position. Release any tensions or strain points. Move into whatever position is best for you. The sound of ocean surf, of waves, a natural sound most people find pleasing and relaxing. It is a sound of natural energy, a natural energy always present when the ocean meets the shore, the sound of waves of energy in action. This is why it is a symbol at the beginning of each training exercise, because you are going to learn to use waves of your own natural energy. You will learn to focus these and direct these energy waves that even now are a natural part of you, waves of vibrational energy. Your heart, for example, is beating to create pulsations or waves of blood flow throughout your body, a slow vibration of energy at work. You breathe air in and out of your lungs, slow pulsing waves of energy you create and use. You talk, and you create faster waves of vibrational energy in the air around you. You listen as you are doing now, and your ear takes one vibrational energy and creates another that your brain can understand. All of these and many, many more are natural energy vibrations that you generate and use every moment you exist. And for the most part, you are not consciously aware of doing so. And that brings us to the point where we are right now. This exercise and others to come will help you learn to create and use consciously for your own mental and physical well-being such natural energy. You will learn to perceive it, to tune it, to focus it, to direct it whenever and wherever you so desire. You will be able to control it with your conscious mind rather than being controlled by its non-conscious activity. You can do this calmly and without fear because it is only another part of you, because it is your own life energy belonging to you and to no one else. Many wonderful things can happen when you do control your own vibrational energy, and you will discover these as you progress through these training exercises. To help you develop your own coherent mind and brain, there are specific sounds you will hear, and it's important that you perceive how they work. This will demonstrate it. First, a tone in one ear. Notice that it is steady, it is even, without fluctuation. Now we will shut it off and place another slightly different tone in the other ear. Notice that it is also steady, even, without fluctuation. Now when I put the first tone back into the other ear, you will hear both at the same time. But there is a difference. You start to hear a wavering, a vibrato in the tone. When you hear this, your brain is beginning to act in unison. The two halves of your brain, the hemispheres, are starting to act and perform electrically as one unit. This is what is described as hemispheric synchronization, or hemisync as we call it. This greater natural brain-mind power is what you will learn to use. So relax for a moment and explore this new feeling of hemisync. Now you are more comfortable, your body more relaxed, your mind relaxed but alert, and you're ready to take the next step in your preparation. Create now in your mind, or just simply think about it, a personal energy conversion box. Visualize or simply think of a large, strong box with a heavy lid, a box so strong that it can contain and hold anything you put into it. Think of such a box now. Now raise the heavy lid of your energy conversion box and place in the box for the moment all of your physical matter, worries, anxieties, and concerns. You will not need them during this exercise, and they will simply get in the way. Place in the box for the moment all of your physical matter, worries, anxieties, and concerns. You won't need them during the exercise, and they will simply get in the way. Do this while I wait. Now close the heavy lid tightly. Close the heavy lid tightly and turn away from your energy conversion box. Say in your mind, say to yourself, I am more than my physical body. Because I am more than physical matter, I deeply desire to expand, to experience, to know, to understand, to control, to use such greater energies and energy systems as may be beneficial and constructive to me and to those near and close to me. Also, I deeply desire the help and cooperation, the assistance, the understanding of those individuals whose wisdom, development, and experience are equal or greater than my own. Here is the next step along your path to the gateway of discovery. It is called resonant tuning. Breathe as I guide you, and as you inhale, pull fresh new energy into all parts of your body and up into your head. Then exhale through your mouth, pursing your lips as if you were blowing out a candle. and think of stale, tired, used up energy moving out of your body into the air you exhale. Here it is again. As you inhale, pull fresh new energy into all parts of your body and up into your head. Then exhale through your mouth, pursing your lips as if you are blowing out a candle, and think of stale, tired, used up energy moving out of your body into the air you exhale. I will guide you now. Inhale, eyes open, fresh energy into your body and up into your head. Hold your breath. Exhale, eyes closed, stale, tired energy out of your body. Breathe normally now. Inhale, eyes open, fresh energy into your body and up into your head. Hold your breath. Exhale, eyes closed, stale, tired energy out of your body. Breathe normally now. Inhale, eyes open, fresh energy into your body and up into your head. Hold your breath. Exhale, eyes closed, stale, tired energy out of your body. Breathe normally now. Breathe normally and relax, your eyes still closed. Breathe normally now and relax, your eyes still closed. Now for the next step to resonant tuning. Begin again to breathe and move at your own pace in your breathing. Inhaling through your nose, pulling fresh energy into your body and up to your head. And exhaling through your mouth, blowing out the candle, blowing out stale, used up energy. And as you exhale, use your physical vocal cords to hum or sing along with the resonant tuning sound. As you exhale and blow out stale, used up energy, use your physical vocal cords to hum or sing along with the resonant tuning sound. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace and humming or singing as you exhale. Begin now. Breathe normally now and relax. Breathe normally and relax. Now you are complete in your resonant tuning. Perceive and experience this new sense of being. I will wait while you enjoy your resonant tuning. To take another step along the path, I will guide you to Focus 3, the starting point of the Gateway experience. I will count from 1 to 3, and when I reach 3, your mind and brain will be much more in unison, much more coherent, much more complete. I'm going to count now. 1, 2, 3, 'Relax, explore, enjoy and experience the patterns of Focus 3, the synchronized brain and mind. I will call you when it is time to return. I'm going to count now from 3 to 1. And when I reach the count of 1, all of your 5 physical senses will be operating clearly, cleanly, sharply, and beautifully. You'll be completely wide awake, both physically and mentally, and feel completely refreshed and feel better in every way, all when I reach the count of 1. I'm going to count now. 3, 2. Your senses are waking up. All of your physical senses are waking up and becoming more and more aware. When I reach the count of 1, all of your 5 physical senses will be operating clearly, cleanly, sharply, and beautifully. You'll be completely wide awake, both physically and mentally, and be completely refreshed, all when I reach the count of 1. 1. Wake up. Open your eyes. Stretch your arms and legs. Breathe deeply. And this completes the exercise.
I hope you enjoyed learning about the possibility of other dimensions, maybe an explanation of some experiences you've had, friends with near-death experiences, out-of-body, lucid dreams, all that stuff. So that's all covered in Running Naked in a State of Grace. Most of it's under Monroe. And then I've got 6 separate 30-minute experiences with the Wave 1 procedure with Bob himself to start exploring that part of the possibility of eternity right at your feet. Take care.